Antonio, my man, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. And yourself? Good morning, James. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning.
Well, I'm really excited this morning, so anything to talk about robots and stuff like that.
Oh, we're not just going to talk robots. We're gonna go robotic on you. You'll see. We're going to turn these things on.
So my first question is, for those who are not familiar with FIRST, please tell us about the program.
Okay, FIRST is one of those great programs where industry partners with students. Main corporations like BAE Systems, Boeing, Chrysler, General Motors actually send engineers and scientists into the students' competition. We'll actually have these students take something like this as early as 8 years old, and they'll take a Lego computer, and they'll take Lego plastic pieces, and they'll construct these robots. Each year they get a different puzzle where they have to make a different robot. Now at this age group, they'll actually have the robot compete on a mat just like this, where it's about 4 feet by 8 feet, and it'll do about 18 complex operations. It doesn't just stop there. After they go out of elementary school and middle school, they go to high school, and they'll make a robot like these ones over here, which are about 120 pounds of steel and fighting fury, and they'll do complex operations actually competing against other teams.
I wish a program like this was offered when I was in elementary school.
Oh, Antonio, I know what you mean. All I was able to do was play with Legos, for goodness sakes, and look what these guys are doing.
Right. How involved is General Motors in this program, and why is it so important?
Well, think about this for a moment. There are over 6,000 parts in a modern car, and all those parts need to be engineered to work well together, to be reliable and durable. And this is a great feeding program, a great way to inspire people, or students, to get in that industry, to be able to be the future car engineers, not only for General Motors, but for the entire industry. GM has sponsored over 10,000 students to this program, and 300 of them are now actually employees of General Motors doing good work. So for General Motors, it's really a way about inspiring. And if you look at the headlines today, you'll see there's quite a few, not only auto industries stories, but also other industries where these companies are clamoring for students to be ready to get into this world. I mean, we have a room full of students here. They should be listening closely to this because, hey, there's jobs to be had here, and it's great for GM to be involved in kind of teeing that up.
That's really incredible. You've got two first teams behind you. Can you explain what's happening and how the competition works?
Yes, Jason, you've got an interesting looking machine here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it, and what parts of this machine are actually kind of come from a car, let's say?
Well, our machine is designed to shoot frisbees into elevated goals. It's similar to a car in that, or at least a Chevy Volt, in that has electric motors driving it.
You said similar to a Chevrolet Volt?
Yeah.
And how is it similar?
Well, it's all electric.
Okay.
And we have control systems and various electrical components.
So there's a lot of coordination going on here. Yeah. Oh, you're a smarter guy than me. So go ahead and fire this thing up, see what it does.
Sure.
Okay. Whoa! Antonio, it's going crazy in here.
That sound is incredible.
I'm glad I'm standing where I did. If I moved 1 inch, I might have gotten knocked in the head.
So how does the competition work exactly?
Well, it's a lot like real life, where each year a new problem will come out, and then the students have 6 weeks to design, develop, test, and go compete with these robots. Starting on week 7, they actually go to competition where about 40 to 60 teams will get together, and they'll have a round-robin qualification round where they have to work with 2 other teams to compete against 3 other teams. So it's just like real life, where you don't really know who you're going up against until you get there, and then you have to adapt and interact with the other teams to go make this all happen to be a champion.
Wow. What kind of jobs and careers are out there for kids who get involved in programs like this?
A lot of the jobs actually just naturally occur throughout the entire program. We start with sensors on Legos that are like Lego sensors, and then we move into more complex sensors where an example on this robot is there's a vision system where they actually target the frisbees with that vision system, very similar to the Cadillac ATS automated cruise control. And so these students actually take some of that knowledge, and we have a great example of Richard right here, who took that knowledge, and now you work in Pontiac Powertrain?
Yes.
And what do you do up there?
All I really do is do calibrations and test the engines for future generation of cars.
And when you were on a team like this, What was the robot that you built? What did it do?
I helped last year when I was on the team with the game called Rebound Rumble, to where we had to make the robot shoot basketballs. So it's kind of like the same process with the Frisbees, but more like technical, really.
So from shooting basketballs to designing cars.
Yep.
Okay, it's proof of the program.
The
isn't
program really works, and Phil here is another example of a guy who actually took transmission from robots and put it into cars.
Yes. Yeah, I currently work for General Motors, and I design and develop hydraulic control systems that control our future automatic transmissions. That's the part of the car that actually makes it shift, and it goes between the engine and the wheels to propel it forward.
it? And what was the robot that you worked on last?
Well, I worked on this robot over here that shoots the Frisbees. That was the last one. I've worked on 12 other robots besides that one.
Antonio, I'm feeling very inexperienced and stupid here. These guys are smart.
I feel the same way. I'm
Good.
like, wow, it's really intelligent.
Yes, definitely.
You know, it's one of those great things, though, where you start them at 8 years old. It's a very natural progression, and it's truly one of those high school competitions where every student can turn into a pro.
And I really love programs like this to give, kids an opportunity to, to be able to build skills and do something that they enjoy. So it's just something really great about that.
Yeah, I mean, if you can start off, shooting basketballs or Frisbees and then actually transition that into a full-time career, well, I didn't have that opportunity or that chance, and so I'm very jealous of these students.
Yeah, so am I. My last question is, how can a school district that doesn't yet have a team get started?
Well, you can first start to get familiar with all the different programs at www.usfirst.org. Now, the nice thing about this league is it's not just a website. On the website, you can figure out what you want to do in general, and then you can contact a local team in your area. Those websites will have links to high schools and middle schools that are already working in this program, and then you can go work with them, and they will teach you how to compete in this actual program. So it's all about building the base of science and technologist leadership.
I hope more children and staff and stuff get involved in programs like this. I think this is incredible.
Well, speaking on behalf of General Motors, so do we.
Well, thank you, Tim. Thank you, James. I wish much success to the two first teams there. And I hope everything continues to go well.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Antonio.
All right, take care.